Hello and welcome back to Galactic Gumbo. We've been gone for about a month and a half or 2 months, but we're finally back going to be doing a show. We tried to do one, I think, a month ago, and I had a thunderstorm with a bad connection. But anyways, so I don't have that today, so we're going to have a full show and have a lot to talk about. So as far as our Mount Rushmore goes, we're going to be doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side characters. So basically your Turtles, your Splinter, Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady, Casey Jones, April, those are taken out. Krang, those are taken out. Those are main characters. We're only going to be focusing on the side characters. Then we're going to be talking about the X-Men Marvel Legends that the characters we want to see sooner than later. And then we got a nice little cool new game that we're going to be doing, and maybe we can bring this back every single time we do one of these shows. But it's going to be a versus. So if you can only recommend one of the two things, where it be a movie, a toy, or a TV show, which one would you do and why? So let's go ahead and start off with introductions. Then we'll get into hauls and we'll kick it off. So Dalton, you're first up.
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonians TFs.
Mike.
I'm Mike. You can find me everywhere as Justin or G.I. Joe Show.
Rick.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Shatrdglassjazz.
All right, Sportimus.
You can find me here on YouTube as Sportimus and on Twitter as Sportimus Prime.
All right, and you can find me G1 Extron on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages, the G1 Extron. So let's go ahead and start off with hauls. We're just gonna do the past 3 weeks. So Dalton, tell us everything you got, man.
All right, so I finally got Blackwing, Moonracer. Got those here just about a week ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Got Repugnus and the Amazon Nemesis Prime, and probably my top figure of the year, Masterpiece Dinobot.
All right, Mike, you're next.
I heard that trigger.
I have gotten probably about 50 different pops. I'm not going to So I'll just have to post pictures of stuff everywhere. I got some G.I. Joe figure. Shut up, Josh. Some G.I. Joe figure subscription toys in, but they weren't the best in the world. And then I got my San Diego stuff in, the Optimus Primal and the Laughing Atom. So that's pretty much about it.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, Rick.
I'm still trying to. Okay, I got the Hot Toys Heavy Blade Praetorian Guard. I got the Hot Toys Anakin from Episode 3. I got the MP Dinobot. I got the Joe Club figures General Hakabuto. I got the Black Series Tarkin finally, and the Enfys Nest Bike. I picked up the Vintage Collection Minband Trooper exclusive. Also got a Kenner Vintage Jawa because I'm trying to go back and get a few Kenner figures that I need. I got the Solo Vandor 1 playset. I got the Marvel Legends Bishop and the Perfect Effect Abominus add-ons. And I did get the SDCC Han Bestman Monarch set.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the TDW upgrade for Abominus.
Yeah, I need to look at them again and find out which one I want. What about you, Sportimus? Me and Rick are the only two people on the camera. Everybody else is hiding behind a watermark.
Well, let's see. I also got the Perfect Effect parts for Abominus. I got Fans Toys Blue Grimlock, or Grinder. I've got the Rodimus Unicronus, the black repaint of the Hot Rod Rodimus thing. I like it.
That's good.
I got the little tiny $5 Repugnus for the head, as well as the Amazon Repugnus for the body. And of course, I got MP41 Dinobot.
Dinobot.
See.
You Dinobot guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I got the DC Icons, Superman, and Doomsday 2-pack. I got the Star Wars Kira, and then the Commander Wolf the GameStop exclusive. Then I've got Marvel Legends Doc Ock. Then I got the Transformers Power of the Primes, Blot, Center Twin, and Cutthroat. Then I also got the Sludge and Snarl. I got the Repugnus, and then I got the X-Men Marvel Legends Wave, Sabretooth, Magneto, Storm, Gladiator, Wolverine, Psylocke, and Multiple Man. And then I got the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive NECA Turtles 4-pack, the Han and Mymac. Is that how you say it?
Monarch.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah, that thing. It's a huge box for that little thing. And then the Infant's Nest and Bike, and then Outback for Power of the Primes, and then Stridor from Masters of the Universe Classics came in.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
You got that? Wow.
Yeah.
Stridor's nice, man. It looks good in the box too.
That's sweet.
I wanted to show that support, for hey, give me vehicles.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Out of Snake Mountain,
Can't wait.
Some more stuff. Maybe we can finally get that Shark Tank. I forget what that is. It Land Shark?
Land Shark.
Yeah.
I want that thing, man.
Attack Track too. Don't forget Attack Track.
Definitely.
Man, we could just let's put that on another topic that we could probably talk about like either next time or maybe later this time. But let's get into the Mount Rushmore. So we're going to be talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side characters. So the main ones are just kind of left off. You name your 4 and go around the table, and then if there was any ones that you're like, hey, these guys almost made the list, then we can kind of get into those. But Dalton, you start us off. We'll just keep on going in the same order.
All right. I'm gonna say Tiger Claw, Razar, Karai. We need one more. Speed Demon.
So are you basing yours off of the
next series?
The last series?
Yeah. If I were to change anything, it's
in the other series.
Do what?
He wasn't alive back then. He didn't.
For the 2003 series, what was that agent's name? What was that agent's name in the 2003 series?
I don't know, but you got 4 already.
Yeah.
Yep, you're shit of luck. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Slash, old school, the Rat King, Baxter Stockman, and then Mutagen Man.
It's a cool list.
That's the OG list. Come on, Rick.
That's good. So for me, Turtles, I'm a little bit older than these guys. So I grew up on the black and white comic, and for a few years in the black and white comic, it was just your main characters. Like I was buying the book because I liked Raphael. So that's my Turtles. Like that's the Turtles that I like the most still is the black and white, a little bit grittier. When it went animated, I was already out of toys. So for me, the Nick Turtles reignited it. So everyone on my list, since they're side characters, is coming from Nick Turtles. Slash, I like Corey Feldman too. I dig all the 80s stuff. So Armagon, I thought that the idea of a bounty hunting shark, that was awesome.
And was by Ron Perlman.
Yeah, that was a cool character. Irma, because I don't know, I like the silent types. And then I like Tiger Claw was probably my favorite thing. Tiger Claw was easily my favorite character on the Nick Turtles show, especially his first 2 episodes that he was in.
All right, what about you, Sport?
I'm gonna go with Usagi Ojimbo.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with because he was a cool dude. I'm gonna go with Mondo Gecko and Napoleon Bonafrog, and I'm gonna have to go with Slash.
OG or new? Nick
OG.
Turtle? OG. Okay.
OG.
So it looks like Slash is getting some love because OG Slash, he was, on my list, and then I had also Usagi, the rabbit. I liked him. I liked his little figure when I was a kid too. I put Metalhead on there.
Oh yeah.
And Panda Khan.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. So
The OG stuff, man, they had some wicked, crazy
OG stuff. Now, talking about some of the ones that didn't make your list, a lot of you guys said Tiger Claw from the Nick series. He was like one of the ones where I'm like, I really like him. I like his character a lot, and he's a cat. So he fits in those like cool mutants, like the rabbit and the panda, you know, and then tigers. You know, those are cool. You know, I said Ray Fillet because he's a Devil Ray. I think he's cool.
Oh yeah.
So
a long time.
Yeah, and then I had Chrome Dome and Cry in there as well, but that was pretty much those were never going to make it on the list. It was basically the Tiger Claw, which was like my odd man out. What are some of the other ones that you guys were kind of maybe thinking about putting on your list, or ones that, or just maybe characters that you really liked?
If mine would have been Spider Bites if Irma didn't wear the schoolgirl skirt.
Fish face.
Yeah. Leatherhead.
Yeah, Leatherhead.
Yeah.
I like the new. I think it's a really different. The Nick Turtles Leatherhead. I like his character more, but I also like the OG Leatherhead because it reminds me of like as soon as I pass over that state border into Louisiana, like Dakota and all his neighbors, they're all talking like OG Leatherhead.
I say you. I would have to go with Fugitoid.
Yeah.
And
David Tennant.
Even though it was the OG one, man, the Nick one was really awesome character they did for him. So he was a real big one I liked, both OG and in the new one.
Just a couple of old guys reminiscing about how good Turtles used to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, until we saw that new shit on Nick. Then we're like, what the hell is it?
Man, killed it.
That's the only version of Turtles I haven't wanted to look at.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
No, I'm not either.
What about the rest of you guys who just missed it? Who was it? Just Dalton that has an answer?
I did. I said Leatherhead.
Oh, Leatherhead? Okay. All right, so let's move on to Marvel Legends. X-Men specifically. What characters do you want to see sooner than later? Because I had some other ones down because I guess whenever I made this list, Toy Fair hadn't hit yet. So like Professor X and Archangel and Gambit, like they were on my list. And also I want that 90s cartoon X-Men look, especially. So, I guess Rick,
got one.
Go ahead, because I guess me and Rick will go last since we're the ones that actually collect them.
I think she's part of the X-Men franchise, but I'm not sure. Lady Death.
Yeah, she was.
So there we go. Or Copycat.
Yeah, I remember she was on the cartoon. That's where you remember her from, right?
Lady Deathstrike.
She's on the cartoon.
What about you, Mike?
I'm going to have to bow out on this discussion because I do not. I can't. I honestly can't think of one. I mean,
just say cartoon Storm. I like the new Storm, but. There you go. There's an easy one. Cartoon
Storm. There you go, Josh. I did one for you. It must be on Josh's list. That's why he said that one.
I've got a bunch on my list.
I believe you.
I'm ready. I'm ready to put like a big wave together.
Once I go, if you guys need to take like a pee break or fix a pizza, something that's cool.
Sportimus, why don't you go next? And then me and Rick, we can go 1-1-1-1.
Okay. Well, I got a couple at least. Beast would be one.
Okay, he was on my list.
And the other one, I can't remember his name. It flew out of my head. He's the one that can go through walls, has a tail.
Nightcrawler. He was on my list too.
Did they not get a Marvel Legends figure yet?
No.
Well, they're like not out of these new ones. They're older
been a
versions.
while.
But since they've updated it and with the Juggernaut wave and said like this is the going forward now. Here's kind of the definitive versions or whatever.
And
we haven't got it yet.
The third one, I don't think they came out with a Jubilee.
God, that's another one off my list.
They did, but it's hard to find and it's way overpriced.
Yeah, she was a Build-A-Figure with was a 3 Toys R Us exclusive little 3 figures you had to get to build the Jubilee.
Oh, wow.
But she wasn't even in the cartoon version either.
Right. The cartoon version of that. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he took 3 of mine, so I'm gonna go first.
Hey, if you have any, can we do them by like storylines too, or like just by books? God. Like here's the book, or do you want to do one at a time?
This is good.
I didn't go that deep into it.
Okay.
I want them all to look like the cartoon. I've almost finished that series. I've been rewatching it. First one for me, Mr. Sinister. That's one of my favorite villains. You got Sauron now, so you pair him up with Mr. Sinister.
Really nice Mr. Sinister, like a premium Mr. Sinister.
Awesome looking.
Do you want his cape to be soft goods or just plastic? Now that
I would like kind of like where how it kind of feathers back. Now I remember the old Toy Biz. I used to have the old Toy Biz where it was just like a solid piece of plastic which had like details on it, and I think there was a hole in it because you'd flip a switch and his eyes would light up or something.
That's right.
So I don't want it like that, but I don't want it soft goods because I think that
it won't stick up.
It'll roll up. It'll start rolling up as well. So I was thinking about that rubbery plastic where it just kind of, like it comes over and maybe it's hard right here, and then whenever it comes down, that it just you could move it. I think that would look.
What about with the wire inside, so that way you can pose it?
No, I'd rather it be plastic.
Hasbro will never do that anyway. Yeah.
Well, they just did that Nighthawk where his cape sticks way up, so they could definitely do Mr. Sinister the same way because his cape, the way his cape kind of comes up over his shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah,
not that color.
Mr. Sinister was, one of the first ones for me. Needful Thing said Goblin Queen.
Yes.
And then Green Rag said The Way. I don't know what that is, so.
I don't think that's a character.
Yeah.
Is that if you know the way?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right. Which one? What's the next one for you, Rick? Or first one?
If I say Age of Apocalypse, can I just name like a few of them, like right in a row, from Age of Apocalypse?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So anybody that read Age of Apocalypse around that 1995 to 96. They brought it back a few times, and then they gave Blink was introduced there. And the reason I'm thinking Age of Apocalypse is because we're getting that Blink figure, even though it's more like the Exiles Blink. So Age of Apocalypse, I want the Colossus figure because that was the coolest Colossus costume we've ever had. Shadowcat because it was one of the coolest kitty costumes. Angel and Abyss.
Just a regular Angel.
Well, the Age of Apocalypse Angel looked a little more regal. He had like long blonde hair, and he was a little more religious looking, actually. But he was very cool. He still had his feather wings.
See, Needful Things, he says, all of the Age of Apocalypse, please, he goes starting with Legion.
Yeah, well, Legion started the whole storyline.
Let's see. So we've already said cartoon, Storm, Beast, and Nightcrawler. I'm gonna go with, and we said Jubilee as well. I'm gonna go with Weapon X. Like I remember having the Toy Biz, Wolverine Weapon X, and it was just these torn up, brown shorts. Came with the helmet. You could see all the little wires and stuff, and then he had the coolest claws, which were so much better than the first Wolverine from Toy Biz, which had the little mask that I thought was like you could also use it as a pinky ring.
Yeah,
it was pretty terrible because all the claws were stuck together. This one actually had, for the first time, I think, had all three of them, spreading apart. And I remember that being awesome. That was like my definitive Wolverine to play with.
Yeah.
I'm going to name another one, too, before you take it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to name my other two that I really want. I want a cartoon-style Mystique.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I got to have this. Don't give me any pushback, Hasbro, with your soccer moms and your slave Leias, and it's not appropriate and stuff. Give me my Savage Rogue. I need her. I love me some Rogue. Anything Rogue.
Yeah. For me, I still want the Mutant Massacre storyline. Any figures from the Mutant Massacre. I still think, like, for its time in the 80s, that was like really dark version of the X-Men world, when you didn't know who was going to get killed or hurt or maimed, or anyway, the Marauders were a big part of that. And the Marauders, I'd take a Scalp Hunter, Arclight, Vertigo, Malice, Blockbuster, Prism. Any of the Marauders would be awesome.
I just want to finish up my cartoon main characters, X-Men. Maybe some side in there. I'm trying to think of like what would be the Build-A-Figure that I'd want next. Because a lot of these, like they're giving them to me, like a Sauron, I wanted Omega Red, I wanted a Sabretooth, and cartoon Wolverine. I'd like a cartoon version of Magneto. Like this one is like, out of this X-Men wave, the Magneto is probably the one that I'm least interested in, even though he's got an awesome looking alternate head without the helmet. I love the head. But I like all the other characters, and I love Magneto, but like I don't like those colors. I'd want the cartoon version.
Was a Nimrod part of the cartoon?
He was on there, I think, at one point. Yeah, at one point, Nimrod, I think he was on there.
We do that.
I feel like he was.
I'm trying to think. Neville thinks he said black and gold stealth suit weapon X, and on the visor escaping Windsor Smith weapon X, Outback, and Marauders would be cool. And he said strong guy and Dark Beast.
Yeah, they need a strong guy to go with that multiple man that just came out.
Oh, and for a good bad guy, especially for Storm and Professor X. God, what's his name? I just watched. He's the Shadow King. Is it?
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, I he's got a not that like weird beast looking thing, but whenever he's in his like where he's kind of like I guess a human-ish robot-y looking form, that one will look pretty cool.
What about Azazel?
Who?
Don't know.
Or was he just the first class character?
Azazel. Footloose.
Azazel.
Oh yeah, that's just. I thought he was just in the movie. At least for me, I don't remember him. And I read all the Hellfire stuff, the original storyline. I don't remember him.
Me neither.
I mean, there's a bunch of characters that I remember when I had, the comic cards and stuff, and they look cool. I guess a Toad would be nice. He's not really that. I remember having some cool Marvel cards of Toad. Then you watch the cartoon, you're like, well, this guy's kind of boring looking. He just spits all up over people.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. Yeah.
I got a few more. West Coast Avengers Mockingbird, like Mockingbird from the 80s, not the new one that we got, like a year or two ago from the modern Hawkeye comic and stuff. And then any of the New Mutants, the original New Mutants, like when they all had the shared outfits and, the X-Men uniform, like Mirage and Cannonball and Ron or Wolfsbane, Karma, Doug Ramsey. And then my last one, I really like the Runaways comic. And they've only done one. So they could do Molly, Alex, Chase, Gertrude, Old Lace.
I see myself passing on a lot of your X-Men stuff.
No, just mix it in with the cartoon stuff. You'll be happy. We could buy cases together.
Yeah.
Well, We'd be pretty good for that.
Yeah, but who's gonna take all the Deadpools that they put two?
That's
in
that's
every wave?
Dakota. That's Dakota.
He won't even buy the Deadpools off me out of the Sauron wave.
Not unless they all have cables to go with them.
Because I told him, I was like, "Hey, do you want these 3 Deadpool things from me?" He goes, "I knew you were gonna ask," and no, I don't. I'm like, dude, I was counting on that, man.
Which ones are they?
It's another Deadpool, Lady Deadpool, and then like some Deadpool, there's a Deadpool with kind of like a
In his underwear?
Yeah, there's a Deadpool with his underwear, and then there's a Lady Deadpool.
Oh, I might hit you up on that.
Do you guys think it's? Do you ever think about like so when when most of us were kids, like Wolverine was kind of like the bad, he was like the vigilante, the bad guy, the badass in the X-Men, and then you wait for a while, and then here's Deadpool. He's obviously the new Wolverine, and his movie is like R-rated and cussing. Like 20 years from now, are they just gonna have like Murder Boy, and he's gonna be just hardcore, like just like so badass it's like rated X? It keeps the hardcore keeps getting grittier and grittier. So like by the time my kid's 21, I'm always thinking like, what's that gonna be like?
Murder Boy.
Yeah.
It looks like you just die.
Because I'm watching the the X-Men cartoon again, and Wolverine, he just pulls out his claws, makes a lot of threats, and calls people bub. And then really doesn't do anything because they can't have the cartoon where he's just like stabbing and tearing these people's limbs off and stuff. Yeah. So a lot of times he's just kind of either he's getting thrown somewhere, or the only time he actually gets to use his claws is against Sentinels. So they bring them in quite a few times. So it kind of undermines Wolverine, a bit there. Because even whenever he fights Sabretooth, like he's got his claws out, and then whenever he starts to go at him, then he's got his claws retracted, because can't be drawing blood in front of these kids, It's where today it's like, oh, they might show a little bit of that, cut his arm off or something. That's why I like Logan so much, because it was like finally a Wolverine that we get a Wolverine.
Or like in shows like Ultimate Spider-Man, Sabretooth just uses his claws to block the attacks.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. So
the DC animated stuff has gotten much darker than back when we had the X-Men cartoons in the 90s. DC animated, like, you're not sure what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, they've got their characters having sex together and stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's
a batarang to the eye with Return of Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, one of those movies, I don't know if it was Suicide, like started with like a child molester. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. I mean, they had like kids in cages. It was weird.
I'm trying to remember which one that I know which one. I've seen the movie you're talking about. Yeah. It's pretty dark.
They have some dark stuff going on.
All right, so we're gonna play this new game, and I'll give you 2 options, and then you pick. So we could either do this if you recommend it, or we could even say like if you want to say you're on a desert island, you only get one of these 2 movies. Which one are you going with? So whichever one you want to interpret the way. But I'll give you 2 movies or 2 TV shows or 2 toy lines, and you have to pick one out of those to collect, and then the other one you don't get to collect it.
And we have no idea what's coming. We have no clue.
I've got a lot of stuff here. So the first one, some of these start easy. So movie, Winter Soldier or Civil War? And kind of a why. You don't have to go into like a paragraph why, but I guess I'll go first. I said Winter Soldier. I just thought there was more action to it, and Civil War, I just felt like there wasn't really like that big villain in it. Like, what was it, Crossbones maybe? Well, he was in Winter Soldier as well, so and he wasn't the big villain. So that's why I would say that.
I have to disagree on that one. I have to go with Civil War because you had more characters in it than anything else, and getting to see some of the stuff that you only saw in the comic books, some of the images, some like when Cap holds up his shield and Iron Man's shooting at it. You know, that iconic scene right there. I just think the story in Civil War was way better than, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I liked Winter Soldier, but I just think Civil War was way better. It brought them to their breaking point.
We've got a lot of these guys, so
Yeah.
who's next?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Mike, because plus it's, you know, two different sides of the same coin going against each other for just, you know,
Yeah,
to prove a point, basically.
I'd have to go with that too. It had me on the edge of my seat too to see how this is going to pan out. I was a lot more interested in that one.
And then bringing in characters like Spider-Man and Black Panther into the mix.
That too, yeah.
Get to see more of Vision doing his thing. More of Ant-Man.
That's true.
I'm gonna go with Winter Soldier, and I like the idea that like it was I like Captain America a whole lot, and I like the idea that like what happens when your country turns on you and your viewpoint doesn't line up with theirs. I liked it because it was a simpler story with just a few characters, but it made you really think about things. And I like the idea of like sticking up for your buddy that you grew up with, and you know, bringing Bucky back. And is he good? Is he bad? I liked all that. So, and I liked that it was a spy movie and it wasn't like a superhero charged. It was a little bit different, had a different feel to it. The other thing I thought, story wise, obviously it did really well because they brought the Russo brothers back to do Infinity Wars 4 and 5. So they literally hinged the entire Marvel universe on these guys' writing ability and directing.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
So y'all like?
I would say Winter Soldier is still one of my favorite Marvel movies.
I think it's my favorite one. Just like you said, I just thought the story and I thought it was more developed where your Civil War, where it was more of a popcorn film, like that one catered to the more masses of these people that aren't, they just want to see a whole bunch of new characters and stuff like that. I thought it was more of a popcorn movie.
Both are great movies, though.
Yeah.
All right, here's two that are near and dear to my heart: Willow or Goonies.
I'll go first as Goonies.
Never say die.
Just the nerdiest, the stupidness, the story behind it, the hidden treasure, it was kind of a you didn't know what to expect next kind of thing. So,
disclosure: everyone has seen both films. Like, if we get into one that you haven't seen, both of them, let us know.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Goonies. I've seen bits and pieces of Willow, and I couldn't get through it all. It was a lot of fun. The camaraderie between all the characters.
It's more memorable to me too.
Yeah,
the characters and all that.
I will have to go Goonies too. I've only seen Willow twice, and they're both kind of like the underdog stories, but I can relate more to the Goonies, and it just feels like, the other guys were saying, feels like a real iconic piece when you're talking about 80s pop culture movies. It still resonates with me. Easily one of my favorite 80s movies. And
guys, I love the Goonies, but I'm going to go with Willow because that is one of the greatest fantasy movies of all time. Mad Mardigan, Val Kilmer, Joanne Wiley, Saoirse, they actually met on set and they got married and had kids. And Saoirse, man, I forget what year that came out. It was like 87 or something like that. So I was like 5 years old. And Saoirse, man, I had a thing for her. I was like, man, I know I'm a little kid, but I want to marry her. I started feeling like a man whenever I saw her. I loved it, man. I loved you had Warwick Davis playing Willow, and he gets, and Val Kilmer, like, he's calling him Peck all the time, and he's like, yeah, give me some eggs, Peck. Do this, Peck. He's like, quit calling me Peck. Peck, 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 Peck. I loved it, man. It was great. Love it. I've seen that movie. I'm not exaggerating. Probably 75 times at least. Like I just watch it all the time. Here's another one, some classics. And I tried to pair these up to where they were kind of not necessarily similar, but they seemed like they kind of would be good versus against each other. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and we're talking about original here, the first one, versus Home Alone. Yeah, Neville thinks, he says Willow, the brownies. Yeah.
I have to go with Home Alone. I just thought it was more entertaining in a way.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go the same way. And then Joe Pesci was hilarious.
Right. Just the stuff the kid did to him, that was just, I mean, he really effed them up. That's just all to it.
Yeah.
And Dalton, you've seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? You've seen both of them?
No,
right?
Home Alone. Yeah, I've seen them both.
Okay. Just because some of these are going to be dated, so you might not have seen both of them.
I'll have to go with Home Alone 2. I feel like Home Alone has an advantage being synonymous with Christmas too, but you can't help but think about it.
It's true.
I went. I'm the only one that haven't gone. I'm going to say Home Alone as well. I remember seeing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in theaters, and I was like, "Man, this is crazy! How did they do this? And how did they?" I thought it was genius, and Rick Moranis, he was really good back then too. So
yeah, it's probably easily a classic now. But
I'm just a fan of the Home Alone where he's setting traps and stuff, and see how that all plays out. I think that's cool.
Yeah, when he throws bricks on them, or is that the second one? But yeah. But those traps were ingenious. Yeah, that spider. Oh my god. Yeah.
Here's a good versus Princess Bride versus Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit.
Please,
Eddie. Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Robert Zemeckis, hands down, one of my favorite directors.
You're all going Roger Rabbit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went Princess Bride. I think I'm just into the fantasy and sword fighting and stuff.
Clearly so, because I'm talking about the big old
hot chicks too.
Inconceivable.
She's not bad. She's just drawn that way. Yeah.
In our kitchen, I have two Jessica Rabbit statues in our. It's actually in the kitchen.
All right, so we're gonna go with some cartoons here. Only one cartoon series, and again, we're going with the original here: Transformers G1 or the G.I. Joe cartoon.
G1 Transformers.
You're talking about both cartoons, right?
What's that?
You said cartoons?
Cartoons. So we're doing cartoons.
That's going to be. I think that's going to be a hard one.
Recommend. You have to pick one of the two. Like you can only recommend one, and
Does it include the movies, the two animated movies?
Yeah. Let's do that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That makes it easier.
Makes it harder.
Well, one's clearly better than the other one.
Yeah, that's true too.
Cobra la 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 la.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to have to go with Transformers.
I'm going Transformers.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched Real American Hero, so I wouldn't have a frame of reference.
I'm good. Yeah.
Just being, that's what my collection is. So.
I love Transformers, but I have to go with G.I. Joe because there were less animation errors, and it breaks my heart saying that. Enough, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man,
But,
come on! I wanted a Rodimus colored snarl.
Oh, well, we all do, but I don't know. I really want to say Transformers, but when you think about it, the G.I. Joe movie to me was better because they didn't kill Duke. They were going to kill Duke, but after the Optimus Prime mess, they backtracked on that, and they were going to kill him viciously too, from what I understand. So, but I don't know. Just I always, God, I just love G.I. Joe cartoons a little bit more. I think they have better stories.
I mean, I could have went either way with this thing as well.
That's why I asked the question. The only reason I'm picking Transformers is because the animated Transformers movie, first of all, it has a better soundtrack. The animation's slightly better, except for the intro. And I like that they killed Optimus Prime because it resonates more.
Hold on a second. You didn't like the intro of Transformers?
That was the awesome part.
I'm talking about the two animated movies. G.I. Joe has the best opening of any animated series for the movie.
I gotta disagree.
You can't beat the animated intro to G.I. Joe. Ask anyone in the G.I. Joe fandom.
Well, of course you ask anybody.
Well, that's a little biased.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember what was the intro to Transformers the movie?
The space where all the names come flying in and it has that fucking music.
You
and
think
then
the
Unicron just destroying?
No, Rick's right. The intro,
no,
right? It's just the names coming up on the screen.
It's not. It's like Eric Idle. I mean, it's
psychedelic too. It's
look at the. Maybe you guys haven't watched the intro to G.I. Joe the movie in a while. Try to beat that. If you're into animation, I want to find somebody who thinks the Transformers one is better.
But I don't agree with your go ask anyone in the G.I. Joe community. That's like we're all saying, like, Mike, pops aren't action figures. Well, go ask all these guys in my pop communities.
Well, that was more about Mike not liking it because he's really into the G.I. Joe community.
Yeah, maybe because maybe you're.
No, that was just talking to Mike.
The intro, but the regular cartoon versus the movie, because Rick's right. The movie was just like Eric Idle, Leonard Nimoy, and then Transformers, and then it just started the cartoon.
Yeah, the animated G.I. Joe movie. I'll put that up against any animated '80s thing that you find. We can watch it, and I won't change my mind. It can't be beat.
Whatever.
Can't be beat.
Wow.
Don't get up all in your feelings.
Make sure you bring up your opinion of that on your next Just Another G.I. Joe show. He says that, and then Rick follows it up with that latest character is actually not that bad.
Oh, the figure? The General Hawk figure. The General Hawk figure.
I want to watch that. Just the venom that you got.
Yes, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Dude, you want to borrow my glasses?
Hey, I have the original General Hawk sitting upstairs, and
hold on.
This one's not too bad.
We're gonna have to hold on. I want to bring this up real quick. If you look at the figure, the mock-up they gave us, it is nowhere near what we got in the figure. We got Funko School Color Hawk.
Oh no, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm just disagreeing that the figure's not that bad. No, the club is awful about that. Everyone knows that.
Yeah,
they're notorious.
How did you enjoy your glued-on helmet on Budo?
I haven't opened up Budo yet, so I can't form an opinion yet. I can only form an opinion.
I'll put up Budo right now. Go open Budo up. We'll wait for you. Go ahead.
I'm not opening it right now.
No.
Open up Budo.
Don't tell me what to do with my toys, Mike. Quit being a
They glued the goddamn head on. The helmet. I can't believe they did that shit. Oh my God, the rage I got right now.
So mad his voice is cracking.
His voice
so
popped.
pissed off at these
That's
3
so
3/4-inch little army men.
Can we play the G.I. Joe intro for the movie right now?
Oh, you want to give me a heart attack, don't you?
It's so good, man.
Oh, shifting
All right,
triggers.
so here's another one. Same thing. Transformers or G.I. Joe. But toys, you can only collect one of them because a couple of you guys, you collect both of them.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, like you'd have to sell one of your collections, whether it's G.I. Joe or the Transformers. You're only allowed to keep one.
Is this the toy line from the vintage all the way through right now today?
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay, because that makes it easier because they don't make G.I. Joes.
Or
Well, I mean,
all right, let's say the let's say when did they stop making it? Let's say up until the 25th anniversary. So let's say that was 25 years.
Like Pursuit of Cobra, that was pretty good. That was the last thing that was pretty good. I like that. It's still hard.
I would honestly, I mean, I think Rick might agree with me that I think we're both like 99.9% Transformer fans than we are G.I. Joe fans.
That's the third topic on your show next week.
I'm going to keep
Dun, dun,
keep
dun.
my Transformers versus my G.I. Joe.
Yep, same here. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it easier too, so that way you don't have to get vehicles for your figures that are already vehicles and
no room to put them anywhere.
Yeah,
I
don't need a
I'm just
define.
gonna kind of add this in. Let's say that you're given. Let's say if it was vintage. Let's say it's just vintage.
That changes things.
Let's say it's just vintage, and let's say you're given everything, and room is not an issue. See, me personally, even though I like Transformers more, I would say G.I. Joe because I remember, like, if I'm given all these ships and boats and terradromes and all the little figures, I would have, dude, I would be on the floor playing with them like right now. Where Transformers, I have fun, and I love the little transforming them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Playing with them as a kid, but I don't really do that today. I just kind of mess with it a little bit and I put it on the shelf, and I really never mess with it again. With the Joes, I could see so much more play value in that, and especially all the vehicles that they came with too. Just so fun.
That's exactly how I think about it. Is I would pick G.I. Joe if we're talking vintage stuff because it was just more. I like going outside with them. I like carrying the vehicles outside and having like huge battles. Where Transformers was more about, back then I liked that they were cars, and I could, have indoor battles. But I really didn't take Transformers outside a whole lot. And for me, even the G.I. Joe stuff now, like I get more excited about like the vehicles that I didn't own that I'm owning for the first time. They were so well done. Plastic wasn't like something they cared about. Look at the Defiant, the Flag, and the Terradrome. Back then, they weren't worried about oil prices. They were like, how big can we make it? How big can we make this toy? We can do it. I know we can do it. We'll lose money, but we can do it.
A 7-foot long play set? Sure.
Yeah, I know. I have to go vintage on that stuff. But I will say, like, for the modern stuff, it would be much harder because the masterpiece Transformers, that the engineering, the how good they are represented on the shelf compared to the fiction that they're coming from. That's pretty the masterpiece stuff is really good.
And modern stuff, even like if we're talking modern stuff, you don't even get, you're not getting Joes anymore. And then also you don't get any vehicles like you did back in vintage, to where with Transformers, I got my masterpiece, and then I got like these like Power of the Primes and Titans Returns, which is really good too. So I've got a couple of different things I can get.
There's a lot more product.
You can get into the Cyberverse, and you want to go down that route, or even the Bayformer stuff,
Yeah.
That rabbit hole's getting covered up. So
everybody answered on that one. All right, we'll start off with cartoon, and then we'll do toys. 2 new opponents. Here's where I think there's going to be some divide: Mask and Thundercats.
Oh shit.
On cartoons.
Mask. Hands down, Mask for me.
We haven't really watched
you
either
said
of them, but
we're doing cartoon first.
Yeah, cartoon.
Cartoon first.
Yeah,
cartoon. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, Tori. Change my answer to Thundercats.
I'm going Thundercats as well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
I really haven't watched either of them, but just from the little bits I've seen of Thundercats. Yeah.
The intro alone was epic.
And the villain, I like Mumra as a villain because it was just slightly darker than some of the other stuff that you would get on cartoons.
Yeah.
And it, like that intro series, like the little mini series that started, like Josh is big into fantasy stuff, and that was definitely like a really good mix of sci-fi and fantasy all at the same time.
And they got swords.
Yeah.
So it's another notch on my headphones right there. You like them?
Mm-hmm.
Mike hasn't picked.
Oh, those was Thundercats.
So Thundercats across the board for cartoon, huh?
Yep.
All right. Let's say toys. Again, we'll do it's they're vintage. You can only collect one of them, but let's say you get them all. So all the Mask or all the Thundercats.
Mm-hmm.
Mask.
Every time Mask.
I'm going
Every
Mask
time.
as well. The play value there, even though I love the Thundercat toys, there's just more mass product too.
And the vehicles still look good. Like their gimmicks really didn't sacrifice. At least most of them didn't really sacrifice anything in the vehicle. I really like the vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Dalton and Mike?
I'm gonna probably go Mask. I had one of them growing up, but I don't know what it was.
Thundercats, the scale wasn't all there, I don't think, on some of them. They had multiple not toy lines, but multiple different toys that were out of scale of everything else.
Yeah. LJN didn't make great toys, at least in my opinion. Some people would debate that, but
so we went all Thundercats on cartoons, so we went all toys on Mask.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
so
more play value on Mask.
Yeah, so this goes to like a cartoon doesn't always necessarily sell, the toy. That even if you got a weak cartoon, then a good toy can sell it. So there you go. I thought it was going to be like all mixed up, but we were pretty much all in agreement there. Here we go. There's more movies of this one brand than there is in the other, but you can only watch these movies: Star Wars or Star Trek.
Star
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
That's fine. You Star Wars. I'm watching
Star Trek.
Did you just call it Star Horse?
Star Wars.
Enjoy your Star Trek.
Star Trek's cool.
Star Trek is good.
Yep.
And tell you what, you might have got JJ, but he sure the hell made Star Trek look a hell of a lot better than just Star Wars.
Yep. Totally agree. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, the new Star Trek movies I think are good, but those old
Did
ones.
you hear?
Trying to watch that first Star Trek movie.
JJ had to make the new Star Trek movies more like Star Wars so that other people besides the nerds would
maybe
watch.
that's why I thought they were good.
How many people are butthurt in the world? Star Trek fans or Star Wars fans? Y'all are still pissed off. Y'all got raped on the first 3 movies that they did.
I'm fine.
What do you mean?
It's not my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, but I'm okay.
What are you talking about? The Last Jedi?
No, it's about the prequels. People being butthurt about the prequels.
I thought heard about them.
Y'all are still bitching.
I thought Phantom Menace was the worst one, and I've seen that thing at least 50 times. So.
Yeah.
You get Darth Maul, man.
I like Star Trek, but man, if I had to pick, I can't imagine ever picking that one over Star Wars.
This was the easiest one for me to pick, too.
Well, duh. Both of you.
I'm like R2-D2 and C-3PO or Data. It's not it's not really a contest, right?
I don't claim the next generation.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right. Now toys. Which
hell.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
If anybody says those Galoob things, I don't know, man. I'm gonna take my Black Series and my Hot Toys.
I don't care if you're talking vintage or you're talking new ones. Or if we're talking Hot Toys, they don't make Hot Toys. They don't even bother.
they're like licenses. They look at the
They
licenses.
just look at it, just like, nah.
They were
That
like,
hurt.
like,
That really hurt right there.
we could get Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
We could get Johnny Depp's Lone Ranger, or we could get Star
The
Trek.
Lone Ranger. I was gonna say that.
Plunge that knife in deeper, why don't you? Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
They're like, please, look, we're a very popular brand. I'm just gonna give you the number to QMX. You ever heard of them? Yeah, we hadn't either, but maybe they'll make it.
Anyway, that's good.
I'm gonna hug my Mezco right now.
I don't think we got your answer, Mike.
On the toys, I'll have to say Star Wars because the Star Trek toys suck. I mean,
Unfortunately,
sorry. They freaking
Yeah.
suck, dude. I
they
mean,
do. They do. Except for the ships, though. The
just
ships are good.
face reality.
I have a Star Wars playset toy from Playmates. That was my father's, but I mean, they're cool right there. Those are, but I mean, when you get into the next generation, I mean, that was a garbage line, for God's sakes. It was, you can't even give that crap away for $1. So,
And they went deep too, right? I mean, they went
Yeah.
real deep.
you gotta look what Star Wars has. I mean, you've already mentioned Hot Toys. They steadily have the
Yard
Black
Sky,
Series.
Black Series, Vintage.
Exactly, they have more toys than
Lego.
Star Trek ever had.
Yeah.
The newest thing that Star Trek's got as far as toys is those Mega Construct figures.
What are those? Are those Legos?
Mega Blocks.
Oh, you can't even get Lego. You got Mega Blocks.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you know, Star Wars is more of an action-oriented line. Star Trek does have action, but not in the way that Star Wars has. So
More political.
Yeah, we're not blowing up planets.
Yeah, that's what we like to see.
They're such a savage.
If they don't blow up a Death Star at the end, then it's just not a movie.
it ain't Star Wars if they don't blow up a planet. Yep.
At some point, you think it's like we got to quit making these things. It's just
No,
way
we'll just
too
make
much.
it bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'd be better like the price that it costs to make one Death Star. Can we just like make like 1 billion TIE fighters and like 100,000 AT walkers? I mean, be a little more cost efficient.
Better troops that can actually
They were like, "Here,
hit
hold
their
on."
target.
Oh, AIM. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
All right, here's a new one for movie: Sandlot or Edward Scissorhands.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm gonna go Edward Scissorhands on that one because I'm a big Tim Burton fan.
And
Yeah.
Danny Elfman. I'll go Edward Scissorhands on this one too. I like Danny Elfman,
Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
and I like the
Yeah.
darker. It's a little bit darker.
Yeah.
I like that.
I have to agree. Yeah.
I like it whenever he's like sitting back there at the bar and he's like talking to the parents or whatever, and he doesn't realize it, but he's getting drunk, and they're like, "So, what do you think about that?" He's like, "Oh," and then just like falls over. Hilarious. Plus, I like all the little. I think like the little mansion on the hill with all the like. As soon as you open the door and then see all those like cool looking like sculptures out of bushes, I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And just that Tim Burton style to where you look at the neighborhood and everyone's got like all these like crazy looking colored cars and
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
whimsical.
Sandlot's still a great movie though. I watched that recently with my kid. That's still good.
do you know there was a Sandlot 2 and 3?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen those. I just saw the first one.
Yeah, so
I'm going against all of y'all. I would have to say Sandlot because I did not like Edward Scissorhands whatsoever.
really?
Crickets.
That's fine.
All right.
So, getting back to Star Trek and Star Wars, you know what would
How are you going to
happen?
go back like that? How are
He
you
has-
going to go from Edward Scissorhands to
He,
Star
ha-
Trek? What the hell?
he hasn't had enough.
No, I haven't had
He's
enough.
thirsty for more.
Exactly. I just wanted to ask you what would happen if a stormtrooper from Star Wars and a red shirt from Star Trek would get into a fight. What would happen? The stormtrooper
red-
would
the red
miss, but the red shirt would die anyway.
That's true.
You die of the trauma.
Yeah.
They get like. Yeah. I used to like Tasha Yar on Generation. They killed her
No.
early.
No, the red shirt would probably die from the rock that the stormtrooper hit.
Probably, yeah.
All right, here's a TV series: Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead. These are two big TV series, so
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Zombies.
Good.
I'm going Walking Dead as well.
Walking Dead.
Now,
Yeah.
you might see some tits in Game of Thrones, but we'd rather have some Walking Dead people get their head smashed in.
Yeah. It's easier to follow too for me, because it's like here's these characters, these are our good guys, and then these are the bad guys, and then the zombies are obviously bad guys. And Game of Thrones, whenever they start saying people's names and stuff, like I need like this an app on the TV for when I'm watching and they're like, oh, this guy, and they say his name, for just his face to pop up like real quick. So I'm like, okay, that's the guy they're talking about.
Who that?
They have full conversations. Oh, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. I'm like, I have no idea who they're talking about, because I just don't keep up with their names. I know like maybe two of their names. So.
Yeah. Walking Dead has moments of that sometimes. I'm like, who just got killed? And my wife's like, oh, yeah, okay, I remember that guy.
All right. Let's see. Pick your favorite out of the Star Wars prequels.
Oh.
Revenge of the Sith.
I'm going Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith.
The second one. Was it Attack of the Clones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I'd go with that one.
That was all right.
I'm going to say the Phantom Menace just to piss y'all off.
Oh.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's the one that you have to watch all the time. Then
I like that I like that you're consistent with the Phantom Menace. 'Cause you
I
said
thought
that
he was
your
going to
favorite
say
too.
Star Trek. Star Wars originals. I think this one's easy.
Empire.
Yeah, Empire for me.
I just don't know those Ewoks.
Oh, yeah.
Empire.
Yeah, Empire was cool.
Mike.
Empire.
Rick, you just want the Yub Nub.
All right, so new Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
We have 3 to select: A Force Awakens, Rogue One. You got Solo, and then you have The Last Jedi.
I'm gonna say Rogue One.
I'm
Yeah.
going Rogue One.
Rogue One.
I was
The
about to
best.
say, if any of y'all say The Last Jedi, I'm ending this show.
I
Ended the show, deleted the channel. It's over. Done.
should have done
Goodbye.
it. I should have done it just to bring the heat and make it real interesting.
I don't know who you are anymore.
Who
I
are
just-
you?
We've grown up. We've grown apart.
All right, we're gonna do your Batman rank. We got Keaton, West, Bell, Affleck, Clooney, Kilmer, and let's just stay with live action because I was gonna say Conroy, but and then
What about-
because
Ted
we bring
West,
in
right?
anime, then you got these movies
No.
that they got different voices. Yeah,
Can't keep up with it.
yeah. So Keaton, West, Bell, Affleck, Clooney, Kilmer. I guess who's your top 3? We'll just say that. You don't have to put them in the order. Just be like, these are my top 3 guys.
Number 1, Keaton. Bottom of the barrel is. Oh no, I'm not even including him. So Keaton, Bale, then Kilmer.
If I could smack you, I'd come to the computer and just smack the piss out of you. Really?
What?
He's
Whoa.
so triggered tonight.
Those are my top.
It's the Arkansas Heat, damn it.
He's woke.
West is above Clooney. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
everybody's above Clooney. Come on.
Oh my God, you guys are pissing me off tonight.
What you like Clooney as? Oh my God, back credit. He loves the back credit card. Everybody.
I'll tell you what, it is Keaton, West, Clooney.
Oh,
Clooney.
no.
Oh my God.
Clooney's the last one on my list.
Kilmer is the last one. He was the worst.
No, because he was different between Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's not just, hey, I'm just George Clooney.
He is a
Yeah,
horrible actor.
like George Clooney acted this Bruce Wayne when he was wearing the bat costume and when he was just in a suit. At least like Val Kilmer, or he acted Batman and then he acted a little different as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't that great of a job.
He reminded me of Adam West.
I'd go with Keaton.
Keaton's number one for me.
For me too, yeah.
And then I went Bell.
Val Kilmer.
And then I went Affleck.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I went with Adam West as third.
I think I agree. With that.
I'd rather have throat cancer than Clooney. So
yeah. It's that Keaton. That one's easy, and then probably I kind of like Affleck. So I'd say Affleck 2, and then 3 is
Really, y'all are going with the fat Batman?
Christian Bale.
He's big bone.
He's a good Bruce Wayne. He's a good Batman.
If Ben Affleck is fat, we all in trouble. I don't know, man.
we're all morbid.
I mean, let's calm it down now.
He's swole, man.
He's swole.
All right. We'll do our so Mike, you didn't even finish. You just said Clooney and you're just like, and the conversation over. Clooney.
No, I said no, mine was Keaton, West, and then Clooney.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We all agreed on Keaton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our common denominator.
All right. We can all agree on something. Joker rank. I've got Hamill. Oh, or no, not Hamill because we're not doing animated stuff. So, I guess just pick your number one here because there's what is it, 3? Nicholson, Romero, and Leto. Am I missing someone?
Ledger.
That's right.
There's 4.
Yeah, so there's 4. So just who's your number one?
Ooh.
Ledger.
Nicholson.
I'm gonna go Ledger. I was always there with Nicholson, but I like the craziness of Ledger's.
Yeah.
Tough one. I'll stick with Nicholson. I like Nicholson.
No one, Mike. You're not going Leto, or?
For me, no. God, he was horrible.
Well, you've been going off with these like crazy, crazy picks.
I got some style. Give me some credit.
Okay.
We're trying.
I got one more for us. Star Wars droids. You got R2. I'm just doing like the main ones. R2D2, C3PO, K2 S2. Is it K2S2?
K2SO.
K2SO. Okay. BB-8, and then is it L337? Is that the Lando's droid chick?
Something like that.
So whatever. Yeah. So her. So let's do your top 3 out of those. Is there another one that I'm missing that is like a major droid?
B9 or something like that. B9E or
BB9E.
BB9.
He was only in there for
if he's in there, R5D4 would have to be in there. So I say cut them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That little Mel droid that's on the floor of the Death Star.
the mouse
droids.
Yeah.
Hey, that got some toys. So
that's the one that Mike picks.
No.
Jar Jar's not a droid, right? Okay.
I thought he would pick Gonk. Gonk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gonk.
I'd say K2SO. I mean, new character. You got some comedy out of him.
Yeah, I like
kind of that cynical personality. So,
well, he also evolved too. He really warmed up to Jin and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. K2SO.
And plus Alan Tudyk, he was great.
He was good. Are we picking just our one or more? Can we do
I say let's pick 3. That way we just leave 2 of them off.
Okay, so then R2 and 3PO after K2SO.
Yeah, I'm doing R2D2, K2SO, and I'm gonna go. It's between 2 here. I'm gonna say C3PO just because I like BB-8, but I've already got one guy on there that I can't understand. Be nice to have 2 of them that I could. Like if I was building a ship, and I've got to get 3 droids, which ones do I take with me? I just feel like R2D2 can do the better more than BB-8, and I'm definitely not bringing L3-37 with me.
Yeah, C3PO and R2. So they're a pair. So
I like R2 then K2SO. I think I would go BB-8 for the last one. Like if I could only pick 3, BB-8 can get around really fast and keep up with the humans. Where like R2D2 has, he has the rockets now, but in the original trilogy, if you threw some steps at him, he was down. He was down for the count.
And 3PO just shuffling along.
Yeah. BB-8's got the speed. I'll give him that.
K2SO's got that stride.
Yeah. If I had to have one in a fight, I would say K2SO definitely.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because he could shoot a gun. So,
and then no telling what L3 would do. Probably shoot you.
Oh, probably sue you and then shoot you in the back.
She files a report.
You're losing your job.
He mistreats me. Behind the scenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. I mean, I've got a bunch of other stuff, but we tackled quite a bit, and that went for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. You guys feel good about that?
Yeah, we can save some for later and add some more.
Yeah, I figured that next Mount Rushmore we'll do Master of the Universe Classics vehicles that we want next.
Sweet.
I figured that would be a good time to kind of pick that up, because otherwise we're just going to name everything that's been made. If we're like, what do we want?
Everything.
There's no limit. We're like everything.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and end it there. You guys want to? We'll be back in 2 weeks, Cybercast and probably Galactic Gumbo. But next week is just another G.I. Joe show where Mike is going to lead off with the G.I. Joe animated movie. Intro isn't good. He'd rather see words on the screen. Also, Rick is going to follow that up with, these subscription service figures really aren't that bad.
Well, it sounds like everybody else on the show is going to be against it. So I feel like I have to come on and be good cop. So, and
then what was the third topic to leave? That way it's just straight fire.
That episode will get the highest ratings ever.
Star Wars, Star Trek.
Then you've already got people that are having to take timeouts on their comments because they've commented too much, like the allotted time.
Let's put it this way: when you have the toy designer from Hasbro text you, and he's like, "Dude, I'm on the next show. I got so much rage right now." That's when you're like, "Yep, it's time to. It's going to be a throw." People we've had on the show in the past, when we've talked about it on Facebook, they're like, "Hey, I need it on that show." People are.
G.I. Joe fans get lit. They rage. They get mad for sure.
Transformer fans, we're bad, but
yep,
we're like saints compared to.
You all saw my picture on Facebook. I don't think Rick's seen it yet. Did I send you that picture, Rick?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I need to send Rick that picture. I need to put that on the group page where the dude's looking back at the one chick and it says $60 repaint.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And then the chick is like G.I. Joe fandom.
I did see that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of rage, I think.
Yeah,
Just
whenever.
so
Let me know whenever you have someone on there that can make 6-inch figures.
Josh, I was going to say Josh wants to come on there, and it's going to be pure fire if it's 6-inch versus 3 1/4.
Oh
You
yeah.
know who that person is? That's going to be old Bobby Valla. And Valla, he wasn't too keen on this.
If he's
Nobody-
make it happen, I'm talking about get the person on there that can make it happen. I can state my case, a strong case.
Yeah.
That would
Like
be
if we're just talking about someone that's like me, that's just opinionated that hey, this is what I like, then
Oh, no,
I don't see it.
he's a toy designer for Hasbro.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
done probably half the Marvel Legends you like.
Okay. Yeah. And Black Series and stuff like the whole show. I'll just sit here. Here's a 6-inch figure. Here's a 6-inch figure. I'll let you know. I'm gonna get through all these 6-inch figures before we get to a 3 3/4 inch. Oh, there's only like 3 of them, and they're Batman. So
not even your market.
yeah. Actually, I don't even think I have 3 3/4 inch figures. No, I've got 2 of them. One's Batman, one's Catwoman. All the rest of them are 6-inch. It's all 6-inch. So, all right, let's go ahead and outro. Dalton, kick us off.
I'm
man.
Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonians DS.
I'm Mike. You can find me everywhere as Just Nerd G.I. Joe Show.
I'm Rick. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shatrdglassjazz.
And I'm Sportimus. You can find me on YouTube as Sportimus and on Twitter as Sportimus Prime.
All right, and G1Xtron, you can find me there at Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages, the G1Xtron. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you were entertained, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Peace.